everyone, it's Cher, and this is Share and Tell. In this video, I'll be giving you my 3 reasons why I don't call kids smart. So stay tuned. Okay, so you're probably thinking, what in the world? What kind of teacher does not call kids smart? This is crazy. What in the world? We got to see what's going on here. And trust me, I'm going to explain. But you already know, I got to grab my glasses. I have to grab my glasses first. And then we will get started, okay? So the first reason why I do not call kids smart is it creates division. It creates division in the classroom. It creates division between the students. So you have your smart kids and then you have your not so smart kids. We're never going to call a kid not so smart. At least please don't ever do that. But by calling this group of kids smart, you're indirectly saying the other group of kids are not smart. That's what you're doing. And so I've seen so many things happen because of that. So much. Well, let's start with the smart kids. The smart kids start feeling cocky. They start feeling like they're better than the other kids. They start feeling like they're privileged some way, somehow. They have more going for them than the other kids. And a lot of times you hear them say things to the other kids. They'll tease them about their grade. Man, you won't never get a good grade. You always getting C's. You always getting D's. You always getting an F on something. All I get is A's and P's. They're the ones who always get an honor roll, and then they always bring somebody else down for getting honor roll. I've seen some of these smart kids do that to the other kids. Then you got the other kids, the not so smart kids, right? Those kids start to feel discouraged. They start to feel defeated. And these are your kids that don't even try because their whole lives, nobody has ever called them smart. So now they got this assignment in front of them and they already like, man, I don't want to start because I'm not going to get a good grade on it anyway. I'm not smart. Why try? These are your kids that will not even try. So I don't use the word smart because I've seen what kind of division it creates between the kids. And also the not so smart kids, that's what I'm calling them. I never called a child that, but by calling other kids smart, this is what you're saying to them indirectly. The not so smart kids end up sometimes bullying the smart kids because they're jealous. They are jealous of the fact that these kids are always getting called smart. These kids are always getting the rewards, the recognition. They're getting all of that, but they don't ever get it. And I've seen that as well. And actually, I've experienced it myself because when I was in school, when I was in 2nd grade, I got straight A's every single cycle. My district, we have 4 cycles. And I got straight A's every single cycle. The teachers always talked about how smart I was, always. And I had kids that just used to pick on me for no reason. I really minded my business. I didn't bother anybody. I just used to sit in my seat. I was so respectful. I always listened. I never gave the teachers a hard time. And these kids used to bother me out of nowhere. And back then I didn't understand why. But as I got older and I started to reflect, I was like, it's because I kept getting called smart and they weren't getting called the same thing. So they were jealous and that was the way that they handled their emotion. They took it out on me by teasing me or hitting me randomly. And I didn't do anything to those kids. So I think about that, have flashbacks of that. And I'm like, no, I don't want anybody experiencing that. So I'm definitely going to be careful with the word smart. Nothing wrong with the word in itself, but you got to be careful of the division it could create between students and the drama and the trauma it could bring in your classroom. Seriously, even in a virtual environment, you still have to be careful with the words that you use or the way you commend kids or the compliments you give. Kids can, really, really take it to somewhere ugly, and you got to be careful. And the second reason why I don't like to use the word smart is my own humbling experience. When I was in school, I kept being called smart for as long as I can remember. I got to high school, I was getting honor roll, super honor roll, smart, you're so smart. But then when it came time for me to go to college, my SAT scores were not that great, okay? And I also, my SAT scores were not that great. And my college placement test was not that great either. I ended up having to take remedial classes. I was shocked. I was shooketh. I was so distraught because all this time I thought I was smart. I was a smart kid, getting all these awards and recognitions and things. But then when it came time for college, I was not on the level that I thought I was on. It was a harsh reality. Reality was like, bow, right in my face. So because I don't want the kids to go through that, that's another reason why I don't call them smart. I think about that and I'm like, well, I don't want these kids to start thinking so much of themselves and then the real world hits them and bam, they realize they weren't at the level that they thought they were. A lot of them start thinking, oh, I'm smart, and they don't have to do much beyond that. No, you have to keep working. You have to keep pushing yourself. Don't ever think you've arrived in anything. You have to keep going. And so because of my own humbling experience, I realized how not so smart I was once I hit college. I don't want these kids to be shocked like that, to be shaken like that once they get to college or wherever they choose to go after high school. And the third reason why I don't like to call kids smart, I don't like to use the word smart, is I'd rather praise effort. I'd rather, everybody can put in effort. Everybody can put in effort. So I can compliment everybody. The way I think when it comes to complimenting, I have to be able to compliment everybody on something. It has to be something that everybody can get a compliment on. Everybody can get a compliment on putting forth effort. Not everybody can get a compliment for getting an A or a B on a test, but everybody can get a compliment for being productive, for putting in effort, for displaying strong work ethic. They all can get a compliment for that. It's up to them, right, at that moment. And also too, I'd rather praise effort because it's something you have to push yourself to do. It's not natural ability. Some kids just naturally, they can just memorize and they can memorize whatever they hear and see and they'll get that A or B, right? But then you got some kids who don't have that kind of brain power and they will never be able to get to that A or B, or they have to work much harder to get to it because they don't have that natural ability. I'd rather praise a child for putting in the effort, for pushing themselves, because in the long run, that's what's really going to take you somewhere. When people feel like, oh, I'm smart, I don't have to do much. These are the people that get surpassed all the time in the real world because they're relying on their itty bitty natural ability to take them far. And that's not how life works. You have to be willing to put in that work ethic. You have to be willing to, go the extra mile so you could be where you want to be. If you're just relying on natural ability can only take you so far. There are people who are really great singers naturally, but if you want to be a Whitney Houston, if you want to be a Patti LaBelle, that's not just natural. That's years of practice, and that's tons of work ethic that goes into getting to a level like that. Another thing about school is, especially in the classroom setting, we praise academic intelligence. We praise academics. You did really well on that test. You did really well on your homework. You did really well on that classwork. We don't praise other talents and gifts that the kids have. There's social intelligence. There's emotional intelligence. There is musical intelligence. There's language intelligence. There are so many ways that a child can be intelligent. But if we only focus on the academics, you're going to have kids that will always feel like they ain't worth jack or Jill, And so that's why I'm careful with that word. And I tell kids straight up, I said, I don't like to use the word smart. I really don't. I'll praise your effort. So if I see a kid is working, I'll compliment your productivity. I love how productive you are right now. Thank you so much. Everybody can be productive. You might not be that A/B student. You might be a C student, but I'd rather see you being productive. And I want to praise everybody for their productivity. I can't praise everybody for getting A's and B's, but I can praise everybody for putting in effort. I can praise everybody for getting to work right away. I can praise everybody for following directions the first time. I can praise everybody for giving their best. So when I compliment kids, I really try not to create division, because You don't see everything as a teacher. You don't see when they go to lunch. You don't see when they're in the hallways. You don't see when they're in the bathrooms. Kids go through a lot because of some of the things that you say, because you're praising a certain group of kids for one thing, but then the other group of kids don't get the same recognition. It can cause a lot of drama. So these are the 3 reasons why I don't call kids smart. I'd rather praise the effort. I'd rather them, realize that there's more, there's always more to do, more to go through. What do you guys think about that? Do you call your kids smart? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments below. And I'd really appreciate if you could give me a like, a comment, and also to subscribe. And I will definitely see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.